I've always loved the mountains. The cold doesn't scare me, nor do solitude and silence. I grew up camping, tracking footprints in the mud, making fires with damp wood. But that week taught me there are things no one prepares us for. This is my story. Our story. Antonio's story. Antonio and I were inseparable, passionate about nature, freedom, and the romantic idea of surviving with the bare minimum. When he inherited his grandfather's cabin, we wanted to use it as a retreat, a week away from everything, just us and the mountains. We arrived with light backpacks and full hearts. We wanted to prove we could live solely off what the mountains gave us. The path was tough but invigorating. The slopes were already dusted with the first snowflakes. The cabin was old, but sturdy. While he checked the traps in the fireplace, I went to explore the surroundings. Thin snow, low vegetation, faint marks on the hardened ground. Footprints, but something about them felt off. I didn't mention it. I was too excited to finally spend quality time with Antonio and explore the cabin. That night, we found maps, old traps, and a diary hidden beneath the floorboards. We were fascinated. The first nights were cold but peaceful. Until the silence began to shift. First, the crack of branches in the distance, then sounds circling the cabin. Footsteps, but irregular, as if they were human and not at the same time. One morning, we found barefoot prints in the snow. And the trap with meat still warm. The mountain was silent and seemed devoid of life. And for those who know the mountain, that's a bad sign. Antonio's grandfather wrote about a man, or something like one, that lived in the mountain caves. A predator. Blind from the darkness, guided by sound and scent. It hunted at night. Those were the only descriptions. After that, just strategies. Keep doors locked at dusk, never whistle in the snow, and never, ever, enter the caves in the Western Valley. To us, those rules were an invitation. We became obsessed. We wanted to find the creature, film it, prove it was real. On the third day of exploring, we found the cave's mouth before nightfall. The smell of animal and fresh blood was there. And somehow, I felt it had already sensed us too. The first cave was a damp, low corridor. Antonio led the way. I lit the path. We wandered through 2 more corridors and a small atrium with several alcoves. I remember a sound behind us, a quick scraping. I turned, and something pulled me. The flashlight flew from my hand. I felt a blow to the head and the world went dark. I thought I knew what fear was. Turns out, I only met it when I woke up there. I woke with a jolt of cold slicing my skin. I was lying on a stone floor, hands and feet tied with rough rope. A pungent stench filled the air, rotting flesh mixed with ancient dampness. As my eyes adjusted to the gloom, I saw, the cave was oval, the ceiling low, the walls stained with dark patches. And the floor was covered in bones. Some so old they crumbled to the touch, others far too recent. I thought, this is where they'll leave my body. The sound came before the shape, a dragging shuffle, like bare feet pressing against wet stone. Then I saw the silhouette. Tall, slender, hunched forward, skin almost translucent stretched over protruding bones. Its eyes were white slits, useless for seeing, but the nostrils and mouth, open as if breathing in my presence. Each step was slow but deliberate with no rush. It knew I had nowhere to go. Suddenly, a shout echoed from the cave's entrance.
Lila!
It was Antonio. The creature turned, letting out a low guttural sound that made me feel like prey before the pounce. Antonio charged in, knife in hand, stepped steady despite the tension in his face. He cut the ropes binding me with a swift motion.
Come on, get up!
There was no time for more. The thing lunged at us in a sharp movement and the impact knocked us to the ground. I saw Antonio and the creature rolling across the stone, quick and desperate blows. The sound of the blade slicing flesh mixed with guttural screams and the crack of bones. The smell of fresh blood filled the cave's stale air. I tried to help, threw myself at it, hit it with a rock on the temple, but it seemed made of pure instinct and endurance. When the faint light hit its face, I saw it clearly for the first time, a mouth far too wide, long uneven teeth, skin covered in scars like maps of ancient hunts. We managed to push it back just enough to open a path to the exit tunnel. We ran blindly, feet slipping in the sludge. Fresh air began to blow ahead. I was in front, Antonio right behind. Then he shouted.
Just keep going. Don't look back.
I stopped for a moment, against every rule I knew. I turned, and saw the creature clinging to him, claws sunk in and teeth at his neck. His eyes met mine, a look that said, "Go." I ran, legs and soul burning. I burst out of the cave into the frozen snow. I waited, I called. But Antonio never came out. And when I finally gathered the courage to return to the entrance, there was no body. Just a dragged trail, vanishing into the darkness. I knew then he'd been taken, and even now, when I close my eyes, I still feel the weight of that cave pressing down on me. And sometimes, in the silence of night, I swear I hear Antonio telling me not to look back. I don't. And that's why, no matter how much I love nature, I've never set foot again where shadows can hide what I saw that night.